Hi, everybody, and welcome to Unwind Design. Today, we're going to be doing a really cute pumpkin and fall painting. We're going to be using 3 brushes for this painting. It's going to be our large background brush, our round tip brush, and finally, our detail brush. We have our canvas in a vertical position. We have our towel, and we have our primary colors, black, blue, white, red, and yellow. So we're going to get started. I'm so excited for this. It's a really cute, easy, fun painting. Hopefully you guys like it. And we're going to start off first by using our round tip brush. Okay, we're going to be starting by outlining where we're going to be placing some of our pumpkins. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of this water, and I'm going to begin to add it right next to my white. I always like to mix my colors on the side of my paint. So in case I want to use some clean paint in the future, I have a bunch of it left over and I don't dirty all of it. So I mix a little bit of this white, a little bit of this yellow. I don't want my yellow to be super dark, okay? And we're just gonna start to outline where we want our pumpkins. My first pumpkin is gonna be right here in the middle. Nice and small. This is half of my canvas and I barely have it on the bottom section. Next, we're gonna make a bigger pumpkin right there. Maybe a really big one in the back. And then finally, another little one in the back right there. And you know what? I think that looks good. Let's do that. Okay, we're going to start off first with this pumpkin here. And I'm going to grab a little bit more of my white. And I'm going to start to add that white to that pumpkin. If it's a little bit on the yellow edge, that's okay. We're going to have a light yellow and white pumpkin. And with this round tip brush, I'm just beginning to fill that in. So again, we're beginning to fill that in. And there we go. We have a tiny light pumpkin. So the trick for this pumpkin is that we get a tiny little drop of this black. Again, really, really small. See, I didn't have a lot of black. And we can mix it with that white to give us a grayish color. We want a light gray. So if it's too dark, just scoop in a little bit of that white, and that way it gets lighter. Again, remember that I am mixing my color on the side of my paint, not on top. I like to mix it on the side so that I always have clean paint later on. So with this brush, we're going to put a little dot right here towards the top, and we're going to start to make our lines from the top, almost like a spider coming out. So from the top, we're going to go to the side. That's one. Then we're going to do a middle line, and we're going to go on the side again. Then on the left side, we actually turn that way. And I'm going to also add a little closure there. Then as I'm going towards the left, my lines start to curve towards the left. Almost like a orange, little pieces of an orange, or even a moon. Doesn't that look like a crescent moon? Perfect. And we're going to do the same on the other side. And then finally, I'm going to go the other direction. And there we go. We have our pumpkin right there. Next, we're going to begin to do the other pumpkin. We're going to use a little bit of this white, and I'm going to scoop some of that white to the side, and I'm going to add a little bit of that yellow and a little bit of the blue. That's going to start to give me a really pretty turquoise color. So I love this color. And from here, we're going to begin to paint this pumpkin. And be careful to not go on top of the other one. Look at that. Perfect. We're going to begin to fill that in. If you do go over the other one, that's okay. We can always add more gray lines. So there we go. I'm going to also add maybe a little bit more blue to make it just a little darker. Not a lot of blue, just a little bit so that they don't look all the same. And I'm going to fill in this pumpkin on this side. And I'm beginning to paint that in. From here, we're going to begin to add a little bit of blue into this gray in the corner of our gray. That's going to give us a darker blue. So I'm getting the blue and mixing it into that gray we made right in the corner to give me a different kind of blue, a grayish blue. And from there, we're going to do the same things that we did with this pumpkin to this one. I'm going to find the middle, And this is going to be the middle right there. And from there, I'm going to start to make these lines. I'm going to start with the top one, which is going to go up. Then like a clock, I'm going to make the line on the right. And I'm going to begin to curve around the pumpkin. On the opposite side, we're going to go to the other end, curve around, 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 around. And then we're going to do the other side, which is going to go the opposite direction. I love that. Let's do the same for this one. We'll make the middle right there. And from here, we're going to make the line going up that way. And we're just going to start to create these curves going around. And there we go for that. Absolutely love it. The final color we're going to use, we're going to make sure that this brush is really, really clean. We're going to be working with a lighter color, so we don't want it to be super dirty. I'm going to add a little bit of the water in the middle of the yellow and the red. And I'm going to start to mix some yellow in that water. Okay, so it gets nice and soft. My next color is going to be to scoop in a tiny little bit of that red to make an orange. From there, we are going to come in and we are going to fill that pumpkin in. Go on top of the yellow lines. Pretend that the yellow lines don't exist. Okay, we want to make this look like we didn't outline it. And we're just going to fill that in. Be careful to go around your yellow pumpkin. And we're going to start to go around. And we can even change the shape a little bit. I think I want to change mine a little bit and make it a little bit chubbier over here. See, there's nothing wrong. You can always change your painting. And remember, your style is so unique. We don't have to be like everybody else. It could be your own style, your own thing. Okay, everybody has their own style. And that's what makes these paintings so amazing, is that you're the artist that's making them. Okay, your style, the way that you hold your brush, how much paint you use, your story, that's what gives value to the painting. Because pretty can mean something different to everybody. Something that's pretty to you might not be pretty to somebody else. So what matters is the story behind it, the context. From here, I'm going to add a little bit more red to this orange to make it a little darker. Okay, a little bit darker. And with more of that red, we're going to begin to put in a center, which is right here for me. And we're going to start first by making that line going up. And just like a clock, we're going to go towards the right. And I'm going to close that in. There you go. It looks almost like a triangle. I'm going to make another line out. And then I'm going to curve. Then we're going to make another one. And we're going to curve. We're going to come in and make another one. And we're going to curve. Over here, we're going to go the opposite way. And we're going to curve. Next to this orange, we're going to add a tiny little drop of that black. And that's going to give us a brown. If you want to add a little bit more yellow and red, if you added too much black, go ahead and do that until you get that brown. The brown, we're going to come in and start to add on top. So from the top, we're going to bring it down to the bottom. That's 1. Over here, that's 2. Over here, we're going to put it right in the middle. That's 3. Or let's do it also long. 3. And then finally, here we're going to have a big one. 4. Look at that. Perfect. You can get a little bit of white and just scratch some on top so that you have a highlight on top of all of these little pumpkins. Stems. Look at that. Perfect. I love that. Next, we're going to begin to work on that background. Okay. I'm going to come in and with my background brush, I'm going to get a little bit of this yellow and this white. I want to make sure that it's nice and light, not too dark. And I'm going to start to paint in that background a little bit. It doesn't have to look perfect. We're trying to make it look nice and loose. You don't even have to cover all of the white. We're just trying to make it nice and loose. Take your time, no pressure. Want to make sure we paint it nice and messy in that background. If you're a little bit more detailed and you want to paint all of it really close to the pumpkins, go for it. That is fine. So we're going to come in with a little bit more of that yellow. We're going to continue with that yellow and white. And we're going to start to paint the top. From side to side, nice and gentle with your brush. And when we're done, you can pick up a folder. You can get your canvas and dry it like this. You can pick up that folder and wave it on the side. Or if you're like me, you can put it against a fan or a hair dryer. And there we go. Once we're done with that, we are going to come in and we're going to begin to use our round tip brush. So with our round tip brush, we're going to start to add a little bit of water to our black. And we're going to start to make some branches. So we're going to start off the edge here and we're going to press hard and then we're going to press really light to make skinny branches. The harder you press, the thicker the line, the lighter you are with your pressure, the lighter your line is. And we're just going to add a couple of lines coming out of it. If you notice, I go on the line and then I make a line coming out, almost like the letter Y. Over here, make a line coming out, a line coming out. And there we go. We're going to do the same on the right. We're going to come in from the corner and we're just going to make a couple of branches coming down. Again, I'm going right on the main line and then I'm merging out. I'm starting on the main branch and then merging out. Right here, I'm going to add another one, coming on the straight line and merging out. Going on the straight line and merging out. You can also do little branches with your detail brush. So come in and start adding a bunch of little lines coming out of those branches. And from here, we're going to start to pick up our round tip again. So let's wash the green brush one more time, or your pointy brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up some of this black and we're going to start to make some leaves. Okay. Or you know what? Let's make a dark red. I'm going to get some of this black and I'm going to scoop some red in there to get a dark red. Look at how beautiful that looks. A little bit of black. And let's put it in the corner of our red to get that dark red. Such a pretty, pretty dark red. From there, we're going to add a couple of leaves. You press lightly and then press hard. Let me zoom in to show you these. We're gonna make some leaves with our brush. You press lightly and then press hard and lift. That is how you get these kinds of leaves. You press lightly and then you press hard and then you lift up. And the more you do that, the more our tree is gonna start to look kind of full. Now here's a trick with this. We are painting fall leaves. So in fall, a lot of our leaves fall. So you can also draw a couple of leaves falling, maybe not attached to the tree. You can make your own version. No, there's nothing that can stop you here. Use your imagination. And your leaves don't have to be where my leaves are. If you want to put your leaves somewhere else, you can put your leaves somewhere else. It doesn't have to be as full as my painting. It could be a little emptier. You want to get creative and mix a little bit of that yellow with that dark red, we're going to get a really nice dark brownish color or a dark orangey color. And you can also add those leaves a little bit more on the orange side. You can also come in and pick up more yellow and that color. Don't mix it and you'll get both of those colors coming out on in the leaves. Look at that. How beautiful does that look? Pick up some yellow and the brown and even the dark red. And when you add it, you're going to get all the colors coming out at the same time. Look at how pretty that looks. You could put these on top of the dark ones too. They'll stand out a lot because the dark ones are going to be like the shadow. And these are going to be more like the highlights falling down. And when you're done with this, we're going to get our detail brush and pick up whatever color you want. I'm going to pick up some of this dark red and I'm going to put my name at the bottom because after this, you guys are done. And there we go. I love it. Really cute fall pumpkin painting. I love it. Thank you guys so much for painting with me today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this as much as I did, and I am super excited to paint with you guys for the next one. See you later. Bye.